Hello, welcome to Dundrell's podcast. I'm your host Justin. So today, I'm just gonna be honest. I had a rough day today, with my dog. So uh, that might have affected my mood for when I went to see the Batman, because I had to take my dog to the vet for a very trivial thing, and it ended up costing a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but more than it should have been. And then they made a big deal about nothing, and then they fucked up. they screwed up. Uh, and it's like I'm just pissed off. It's just I'm pissed off. So I saw the Batman in kind of a bad mood, and the movie was long, and I was very bored at times. I'm not gonna lie. So the movie is the Batman 2022 action adventure film. It's 2 hours and 56 minutes. To me, it was more like the movie ends pretty much at 2:47, but I don't know. It's music. It's music's by Michael Giacchino, which the music was generic. They played the Kurt Cobain song or Nirvana song like twice in the movie. The one from the trailer. The movie stars Robert Pattinson, or the Patman, as Batman, Zoë Kravitz as Selina Kyle, Paul Dano as Riddler, who they said his name is Edward Nashton in the film and not Edward Nigma. You have Colin Farrell as Penguin, Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, and Barry. Who's this guy? Oh, the kid from Dunkirk and Eternals plays the Joker. Apparently, you don't even really see him. They have a sequel bait cameo with him at the end of the movie, right? John Turturro plays Carmine Falcone, which they reference. There's a reference from Long Halloween in this movie, which I think was one of the 5 Batman graphic novels that Matt Reeves has admitted he only read like 5 Batman graphic novels, and this guy thinks he can direct like a Batman movie. So here's the problem with this movie, right? As a movie, it's decent. It's a decent film. I would maybe give it, a 6 out of 10. Little boring. The action scenes. But as a Batman film, fuck this movie, man. Fuck this movie. First off, the movie rips off not. We all knew going in that was ripping off 7. They even ripped off the part where Kevin Spacey's character in 7 gave himself up for the 3rd act, right? They did the same thing with Riddler. And it's like, Jesus Christ, man. You're even ripping off that from fucking 7? Oh my god. So yeah, the story here, it's year 2 of Batman, right? Batman's career. And even though there's a line later in the film where Bruce Wayne is talking with Alfred, and he's like, all these years and I've been Batman, and it's all been for nothing or some shit. All these years, you've only been Batman in the movie for 2 fucking years, man. Oh yeah, so the premise is what's going on is Riddler is kidnapping corrupt politicians and killing them in 7/Jaws kind of ways, right? Which his costume, I think, is a rip-off from the Zodiac Killer, which there's some Zodiac Killer stuff in here, because then he leave cryptic clues and coded messages for the cops, right? So not only did they rip off one David Fincher movie, but they ripped off Zodiac as well. Oh my god. Yeah, and turns out like the leaks are right. It had to do with Bruce Wayne, Wayne's family, right? There's a subplot where Selena Kyle, who's looks awful, by the way, her Catwoman outfit looks fucking awful. It's like a wool cap with like pointed tips on each side, right? That's supposed to be the ears. It's like, and she like calls herself like the cat, right? So it's like, she's supposed to be Catwoman, but like they didn't give her, like they didn't commit to giving her a fucking costume, a real costume. Oh my god. She helps Batman because her friend was killed by Falcone, and like, you know, Falcone has to do with Riddler, right? So yeah, I'll just get to the stuff about the movie I don't like. One, I hate Batman's mask. It looks fucking dumb. Two, the Bat logo on the they have the bat signal, the bat floodlight, and it's in the shape of his bat logo, but because his bat logo doesn't have the ears or the tail, it's just the two wings, man. Jesus Christ. And by the way, they mentioned Bloodhaven, right? So it's like they know Nightwing is a thing, right? And they know Nightwing is a thing, but like they made his Batman's logo look more like Nightwing's logo than Batman. It's like, oh my god. By the way, for all the people who were told like Robin or Dick Grayson was in the film, he wasn't, by the way. Yeah, so like the movie is just a PG-13 14A ripoff of Seven. I couldn't believe all the times you've had characters in the film react to, like, you know, like Riddler's like traps and shit. And when you saw no blood, no blood, no gore, right? It was like so dumb. So dumb. I will say the performances were good, except for both Batman and Riddler. Riddler was a bit too much over the top, and Batman's emo Bruce Wayne and his Batman voice sounded fucking awful. He pretty much what the fuck was he going for? It sounded like it sounded like Kurt Cobain, to be honest, man. And the whole thing about him like taking an adrenaline shot to fight a bad guy, that did happen at the climax of the film, right? He almost kills a guy, right? Yeah, that happened. Yeah, the movie, it's just the cinematography was good, but except for the scenes where like Batman shows up and he just steps into like the light from like out of like, he just steps onto like from out off screen. It just looks bad, man. And there's also he doesn't have a glider cape. He has like a flight suit, which looks fucking dumb. And when he needs to land, it turns into like a parachute, and like, you know, he loses a cape, right? Also, there's a scene where Paul Stormore, I forget the actor's name, but he played a bad guy in the Green Lantern film. He was in Jarhead, famous actor. He was also in Black Mass, right? He plays like a corrupt DA in the movie, and he gets kidnapped by Riddler, forced to like crash a funeral, and has this bomb attached to his neck, right? And he has a phone that Batman talks to Riddler through, and Batman is like 2 inches from this guy's face when the bomb goes off, and it just sends him flying, doesn't kill him, right? And even for the fanboys and nerds of this film, right? There's no fucking way Batman would have survived that. Even if his armor did protect him, his body would have instantly jellified it from the shockwave alone. Talk to army vets. They'll tell you what happens when a tank goes over IED. Like I heard one guy tell a story. Like, yeah, the tank went over IED, and the shockwave from the blast of the bomb, even though they were safe in their tank, the shockwave went through the bottom of the tank, and one guy's like ankles shattered and turned to jelly, man. So yeah, Batman would have been fucking dead. That's the problem with superhero movies. People don't understand is that they're fantasy, right? They don't fucking work in this like realistic setting, man. It doesn't work. And then there's the fact where Bruce Wayne is scared shitless in the film of being exposed, right? Being exposed for being Bruce Wayne. He doesn't even try to hide his identity. Like Alfred tries to get him to go to parties and stuff. He's like, I'm too busy being Batman. He's too busy being Batman. And like, you know, there's a scene where Riddler, he thinks like Riddler knows who he is, and you can see him tearing up. Batman, like I counted like 4 times where Batman in costume almost cries, like his eyes get teared up, man. But you can't have Batman crying in a fucking Batman movie, especially with people around. And then there's also the scene where like the cops turn on him, and he has James Gordon tells him, "Hey, punch me out," and gives him advice how to escape. So he assaults a couple cops, right? And then later on in the film, like he has to assault a couple cops to get away. That's when you see the glider cape, right? Which looks nothing like it does in the comics. It's just a flight suit. It turns his costume into a flight suit. Later on, when he's hanging out with the cops, they don't do anything, right? They just forgot and forgave him for assaulting the 2 cops, even though they were trying to arrest him earlier in the film, man. It's like, what the fuck? So dumb. So, the movie is just, like, dumb at times. If you turn off your brain, it does, like, and you just enjoy it for what it is. It is a decent film, but as a Batman film, it's fucking worse than the Nolan films. At least the Nolan films had the awesome... They remembered, hey, you can't have Bruce Wayne act like a depressed, like, emo kid. You have... Because, like, Bruce Wayne is the disguise and Batman is the emo kid. You can't have them both, or otherwise it's going to be pretty fucking obvious who Batman is, right? And at least he did the cool glider cape where where the cape turns into bat wings, right? Which the Snyder films, they did that. Not in this fucking film, they didn't. It turns into the cape morphs into the suit and it turns into like fucking a flight suit, man. It's so fucking bullshit. Fuck, man. The movie, like I said, it's decent, but it's like, fuck, man, as a Batman film, you really have to turn your brain off to enjoy this film, man. Oh, and also there's the stupid romance between Batman and Selena Kyle, who says, "Hey, you're not like those other white privileged assholes." She's straight up an SJW in the film. And the movie obviously has SJW leanings, but the people who are normally against that are gonna forget about that because they like the movie, even though the movie is fucking dumb. All right. Well, that's if I were to give this movie a rating, I would say for normal people, like it's fucking dude, it's a for normal people it's a 6 out of 10. But for me, this is a fucking 3 out of 10. Fuck this movie. Oh, and this is going to get a sequel too. And by the way, the guy, the Joker, the Irish actor, whoever they got to play Joker, his his laugh sucks. Yeah. I'm never gonna watch this movie again. All right, peace.